Hey everybody, it's me, Sean. Welcome to another multiplayer game of Interstellar Transport Company. Today we are playing against Sabouts. Is that right? Sabouts?
Sabouts, correct.
Sabouts. Sabouts has a great strategy channel. As a matter of fact, it's called Serious About Strategy. That's where the name came from, right?
That's correct. That's where it came from.
Yeah. What do you got going on for your strategy games right now on your channel?
Well, right now I've actually got, I'm playing a little bit of Darkwood, which is a horror survival game. It's been a lot of fun. I've
Yeah, that
got
one's
Next Day
great.
Survival, which is a survival game, and then Adventure Craft, and then a Dominions 4 multiplayer game that's been going on for well over half a year now. So,
That's long. So the Dominions is pretty much your strategy. I mean, kind of like every game is strategy. Since I have a strategy channel too, it's a pretty broad thing. Uh,
absolutely. Yeah, I kind of look at strategy as being a, over-encompassing thing because it falls into a lot of different realms and genres. So, I got a Alpha Centauri series hopefully starting up here soon with the old
yeah, that's going to be fun.
Civilization classic. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
So we are starting. Looks like on unfair difficulty, and we added in an AI player this time to kind of spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, we've got that there. That's going to kind of let us know how the AI is playing. There was a recent patch that was uploaded, which fixed a lot of issues, should have made multiplayer a little bit smoother, and fixed the AI and the way they play, altered them a little bit. So we're kind of curious to see how the AI really fares up against both of us as we play against each other, and that'll give us a good idea of what's changed with the AI. Now, I've got for the name of my space lines here. I did not pick this. This is totally random. It's supposed to be Virgin Space Lines, but when I first looked at it, I obviously read Virgin Space Lines. I was like, wait a second. So I thought that was pretty funny. I'm going to be keeping that.
And yeah, me too. It just happened to give me that name. It's so crazy. I don't know where that came from, but
What
wow,
a
really
coincidence.
lucky. Also, they didn't use all caps in mine for some reason, but well, that's just how it goes, I guess. Anyways, I'm ready to go if you are.
I am. Let's get started.
And Sabouts is hosting today, so if you're watching on my channel, there will be a little bit of jankiness. Although it'll be interesting to see because it's supposed to be improved over the new patch is supposed to improve stuff for the guest side of things.
Absolutely. I already like that waiting for player thing. That's pretty nice. Oh, they've actually cut down how many solar systems. Originally, it was a lot more than this in multiplayer.
Oh, I didn't even. Is there just the 5?
Yeah, there's just 5. When we first did the multiplayer stream with the devs, I think it was maybe like, I might be wrong. Maybe it was 5. I think it was like 8 or 9.
Uh huh.
So, but yeah, it looks like it's a lot different there. Hey, at least the planets are where they're supposed to be.
Well, it'll always look good from your side.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Are
Yeah.
they where they're supposed to be for you?
Yeah, everything looks. I mean, it looks way better than when you did that dev stream. Oh my gosh, that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah,
It was still pretty rough.
yeah.
But the developers got a lot of really good information from that.
And
All
they've
right.
implemented a lot of improvements as well. I mean, it's just been really impressive what they've been able to do since then.
Yeah, they've really changed a lot, especially nerfing machinery, which pretty much made me want to cry when they did that.
Yeah, that and closing out the ability to set passenger prices manually,
Yep.
which
Yeah, I
I
heard you
think
made a
is a
lot of
good
money with
change.
that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good change because you could really exploit that. But
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely. In single player games, it definitely reduced your ability to make a lot of money. In multiplayer games, it makes perfect sense.
Exactly. All right. Just getting the initial stuff set up. This is like one of those games where it's hard to when I was doing my series on it, I kept getting, I would like, if I was talking, I had a hard time setting up routes and everything. Like you had thinking going on, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like in a series, you can be like, okay, well now I'm going to click this button and I'm going to click this button, and it's when you're doing multiplayer, it just doesn't. First off, I'm telling you what I'm doing, so that kind of takes away any advantage I might have from secrecy. And yeah, also it's like it's not very interesting for people watching your side for me to be talking about what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I did forget to. I always forget to set the wait for full load on machinery and the
Yeah,
pickup
I'm
rules.
trying to mess with that now. I think they said they were going to completely change the way some of this works. They have intentions to do that because
Yeah,
it is
that'll
a
be nice.
little, yeah, it's a little kind of, it's tough to kind of navigate when you're first getting into it, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
going through all the resources and then trying to remember what you're picking up from where and where you're sending it. Let's see.
And I noticed that when I set the rule for Earth for one of my routes, it actually uh, copied that to the rules for Earth on my other route, which like is good in this case, but probably not. Actually, if you have the rule for Earth copied to every route, that wouldn't really be a bad thing in general.
Yeah. Let's see.
I guess sometimes I do end up setting up a route there where I want it to not load food on Earth, because then I'm going to want it to load the route. I'll set up a specialized route to take raw rare resources from Luna back to Earth.
Yes. Yep.
Like when Luna gets flooded with food, you don't really want to be delivering food there anymore.
Exactly. It's kind of tough because you got to constantly keep on top of everything. You know, I found in my playthrough that, um, unfortunately, my save ended up not working eventually, so I wasn't able to complete everything. But in the last episode, I ended up going through and deleting most of my ships because the routes just weren't, they weren't generating profit anymore. They just weren't relevant. So, and rather than trying to like figure out where I can use those ships based off of the resource and the cargo pods they have and everything, I just
Uh-huh.
ended up scrapping them all. It was a lot more efficient that way.
Yeah, and they're not that expensive. Like I always go through and do the rerouting and stuff, and it's like, why? Why am I doing this? They're only
Yeah,
$28,000, and I have $500,000.
I kind of looked at it as if the ship had generated enough profit to pay for itself, plus a little
Exactly.
bit, I was okay with selling it because then I would make a little bit of money off of selling it, whatever, how depending on the age of the ship and
Shoot.
everything. And then I would just buy another ship with it and set up a whole new route. So I'd have fresh ships for a new route and everything. All right.
So we get a race to see how quickly we saturate the moon with all of our goods and stuff.
I know, right? It's probably going to get bad pretty quickly.
And the AI will be in there to help us get there a little faster. Do
Yeah,
you
they're going to
rename
speed
your
things
ships
up.
at all, or?
I I won't for this one. I did a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I do try to name my routes based off of what they're actually moving around so I can keep track of it. But I have to put like little initials for it, you know, because you can't fit everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I forget that, like, I have a pretty specific setup that I just use over and over again. I don't know that I've ever explained it to anybody, but it's like, it seems so intuitive. It's like, do I even need to explain that F stands for food?
Yeah, yeah, probably not.
There's really only like 4 resources you're moving around, so. A new colony on Mercury. Boy, they're not wasting time.
Really? Holy crap. That was fast.
Yeah.
A lot of raw materials there,
On
which isn't
Mercury? Oh,
bad.
yeah, raw materials. Yeah.
Yeah, Venus is the one with rare material, well, a lot of rare materials, which is finally fixed, thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. But it takes so long to get Venus like habitable enough to where they start producing anything, though.
Yeah, exactly. You end up if you want to, you know, subsidize it and sink a lot of money into it yourself, it's fairly expensive, and then you kind of got to wonder if it's even worth it.
I definitely think it'd be worth it in the, if you're playing a game that's going to last like 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Did they change when the FTL jumps in, or is it still 2070? I think it was 2072 or 76.
I think it's 2062 now. So yeah.
Okay, I was kind of hoping they would do that because it was. I mean, it took a while if you wanted to get to FTL. I mean, I think I played 3 hours of the game and I was only maybe 5 years in.
Yeah, I've gotten maybe 12 years in, and same thing. It takes hours to get there, and then the game starts getting. Although it's dramatically improved since then, but it starts getting a little kind of choppy
Yep.
in these multiplayer games. It's hard. I mean, we could play for like 7 or 8 hours, and we could get pretty far in. But in the amount of time that
Yep.
we'll be playing, we'll probably get like a year and a half or 2 years in, or something like that.
Yeah, I will definitely won't make it to 62. That would be.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know the actual time span for that.
It like speed one. I could just
Yeah.
imagine probably like
How
8
long would it
hours.
actually take you?
Yeah, I can't even guess.
It would be a while, I'd imagine.
I don't know if you know this, but right now passengers are still, although maybe they fixed it in this patch, but as far as I know, passengers will take first class seating just the same as coach seating. So there's no point in doing coach.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I know that now.
Yeah, so
I haven't
yeah.
built any passenger ships yet.
All right. So just
They're messing with passengers a little bit more though than usual.
uh-huh.
Because it is very profitable. It wasn't originally when machinery was, kind of glitched. And you could make so much money doing that, but now that machinery is not as profitable as it used to be.
Yeah, for sure. Passengers are great for getting getting the new worlds going as well. Got to build up the colonist base in order to increase demand.
Now they said Earth eventually does run out of raw materials, which I think a place like Mercury would, a route between Mercury and Earth with raw materials would shine if you were like 15 years in.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, how cool would it be if they added like different scenarios where you started out at maybe different time zones?
Oh yeah.
Because Transport Tycoon Deluxe has something like that where you can start the game later on with more stuff unlocked and cities a little bit bigger and stuff like that. If you started like that and other systems were already colonized and the AI empire was already kind of ahead and well established, and you were starting off in like an already kind of predefined system or galaxy, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, and once they get like governments in there, they could set up like a civil war, kind of the outer, like in the Expanse, the outer planets versus the inner planets, or Earth versus Mars, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's something they had actually talked about doing, which I think would be just absolutely cool. None of those ships made me any money.
Oh, really? The ones going to Mercury?
Yeah, that it was just I think it was a glitch. What happens is, and they've
shit.
mentioned it was an issue before, is that sometimes
Yeah, I had the same thing.
Yeah, they go to pick up resources and they end up the first ship picks up all the resources available, and the other ships launch and they don't pick up anything because the first ship took it all, and then they just launch without. I think the best way to combat that, I guess, would be to set up the route so that they don't pick up and leave until they're full, right? I guess it'd be the only way to do that.
Yeah, definitely with like I always do that with machinery ships, because they will leave empty, because there's just not enough machinery production.
So that actually didn't do me any good. I don't mess too much with rockets. I find them to not be worth the time I spend trying to get them up and running.
Yeah.
I do a little bit, but I...
Oh, you're starting on Mars already, huh? Dang.
No, that's the...
Oh, that's the AI?
That's the AI, yeah. I'm green.
All right, well, still.
The AI trying to jump ahead of
nice
both of us.
Try, AI.
All right.
Oh, I bet you Mars only has a level 3 spaceport. Yeah, I'm not going to send those stupid doing ships over there. How are we doing? So looking at I'm looking at the reports and charts here. I'm definitely losing. Oh, they've got new reports and charts in.
Yep, they changed them all completely up.
Yeah,
It's pretty
nice.
nice, actually.
Oh, I was going to say, wow, I'm way ahead in monthly profits, but they're all very like 35,000 versus 7,000, so it's not like there's a lot of a lot of difference there. Oh, that changed.
Yeah, wow, there's a lot of different stuff here now.
Yeah, pretty neat.
They said that was something they really wanted to change too, is the amount of information you could get from the game, because I mean, it's set up pretty well right now, but it looks like they're already messing with the reports and charts. They said that before the reports and charts actually weren't even completely accurate, so they're supposed to be a lot more accurate now.
Yeah, I know the income one, I think, was really bad, and Chris was wanting to fix that one up, so I'm glad that he did. Or I assume that he fixed it, but at least he changed it. We can pretend it's fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're piling up some Mercury passengers on Earth, huh? That's a surprise.
I find that, like, going to places like Mercury sometimes aren't useful this early in the game because the ships just aren't fast enough to make it profitable. Or traveling anywhere is outside of... I really tried to get, like, I think you might have actually said something about it in the very last episode I did. I tried to get something going with the lithium crystal on, I believe it was Titan,
Uh-huh.
which has all of that, and it was extremely challenging because I was literally just investing faith into it because there was no profit to be made until I had faster ships.
Yeah. Well, and then also the lithium crystals and fuel is really hard to make money off of until
Until
interstellar travel.
FTL.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's tough being the first one to start sending ships. So I'm kind of glad that the AI is sending ships to Mars, because you kind of have to prime the pump to get it going, and you have to run at a loss for a little while.
Yeah, you do. And luckily the AI is willing to take that for us, so good on them for
Yeah,
carrying the
exactly.
burden.
Yeah. Let them take the hit. One thing I've really come to appreciate is the value of maintenance hangars, especially on places like Earth. When you start getting like 7 or 8 gates going, it's kind of useful to have a second maintenance hangar to get your ships out of there faster.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't found much of a use yet for the security, though.
Yeah, me either.
Pirate raids are really prominent enough that it's lethal yet.
And it seems like even when they do happen, they're always fought off successfully.
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen them like get away with murder, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't. I mean, obviously that's a feature that they're going to end up developing further, I'd imagine. Oh, no, that's demand. Never mind. I still get confused with the demand bar being on top and the supply bar being on the bottom. What's that? Now, I'm so tempted to spend money updating things.
I know.
Oh, I love those D520. So I guess they changed some of the smallest spaceports allowed.
They did. Yep, they changed that, and
yeah,
I guess they did change the pricing and everything of some of the ships.
Oh yeah, the Space Bus, the 520 is more expensive now. It was 149 before, but you can use it on a level 6, so that's good. The D500 is a little more expensive than it used to be. I think it used to be 28,000.
Which one is that?
The D500. I think it used to be 28,000. Now it's 31,000.
Yeah, I believe it did. Yeah, they made them a little bit more expensive. I wonder if that is something they could have done for difficulty, to kind of artificially create a harder difficulty levels, increasing the price of ships with the higher difficulty.
Uh-huh.
So it feels like you're kind of trying to really work for your money so you can upgrade your fleet and actually become competitive. I find early game that as much as I like the D520 and the 919, they're so more expensive than the other ships. I mean, they hold a lot more, but it's a considerable price jump. It's very difficult to justify paying because usually this early on, you're going to be lucky if you get maybe one of them within the first year or two. So I usually just stick with the smaller, the less expensive for a while.
Yeah, once you get Mars pretty well developed, where you've got 6 or 8 of each ship going back and forth, then it's kind of worth going to those D520s. But
exactly, and really, the smaller ships are going to be more profitable in the long run. I think when it comes to if you're going between Earth and Luna, or something like that, or even maybe Earth and Mars, Earth and Mercury. But when you start going out to the larger ones, you obviously need faster ships that hold a lot more.
Exactly.
Or they're not even going to turn a profit based off of fuel consumption.
Yeah, sometimes in my single-player game, I'll manage to get to where it's worth sending a D520 out to Europa, but that takes like 6 or 7 years before it even gets close to being worth the time there.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fuel efficiency is huge on that if you can manage to start doing it. Well, they upgraded the spaceport on Mars. That's handy. I assume that was the AI and not you.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
I'm glad they did. I was just trying to save up enough money to do it myself, so. Get a whole new set of ships going out there. They've changed the mechanic as well for like when you have ships on wait for full load, it will fill the one that has been waiting the longest now.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. That seems like a perfectly good feature.
Exactly. Seems like that's kind of what it should have been all along.
Yeah, exactly. I'm finding that the passenger ships for me are not being very profitable.
Really? You got passengers going from Earth to Luna?
Yeah. I must have set it up wrong. I must have did something wrong. I got to take a look at this.
You definitely don't want a bunch of business class seating because only business people will use that.
Oh, you know what? I just got a bunch of first class seating.
Oh, and they're not using it, huh?
Not really, no.
Because that's what I have on mine as well. I have 21 first class and 4 business class. And
yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if that was fixed. Do they seem to be really heavily using yours?
I mean, $25,000 profit on each of them. I've got 2 going from Earth to Luna.
Yeah, I'm only pulling maybe 3,000.
Oh, yeah, that's not so good.
No, that's a significant difference.
But my timer just went off, so I guess that means we have come to the end of episode 1.
That is it.
Yeah. You want to maybe pause it, and we can do a little...
Yep. There we go.
Take a look at our... Let's see. So we're going by company net worth. Would kind of be our score-keeping system here. And it looks like I've jumped out to a pretty good lead.
You are leading both of us significantly.
Yeah.
I am actually very slightly leading the AI. And the AI is on unfair difficulty, so... Yeah,
that's good. It's kind of good that the AI is keeping up as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not getting left completely in the dust.
Like it would originally.
Yeah. It hasn't gone bankrupt yet. All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for watching. If you are watching my channel, make sure you check out Sabouts' channel as well. He's got a lot of great stuff on there. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a comment, click the like button.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Bye.